in the region. Okay? All the people are moving toward Iran because Saudi Arabia went crazy. Saudi Arabia is an open friend of Israel. Fine. We've been telling everybody that for 40 years, but nobody listened. Now, you can push Channel 5, and there they are, the Saudis and the Israelis, hand in hand. Right? So, also the al-Faqih, he's the balancer of all of this stuff. You know, all the different groups. That's what his job is. So you have a military, they 100% behind the al-Faqih. But you have Majlis or Congress like it, you have the foreign ministry. They have their own cliques and ambassadors, they begin to think it's them. And we need more democracy. And the foreign ministry is the ones talking that American talk about our economy. But see, the people of Iran realize who's causing them a problem. And whatever these white folks say on the news, that's not the way it is in Iran. They know, anybody knows the sanctions. What are you doing saying that you support us because we're hungry and mad, and you're the one that made us hungry and mad? So what? We got corruption. If America got 80% corruption, Iran got 10% corruption. You see what I mean? Everybody got corruption. The system of al-Faqih. See, that's why, look, you so-called Iranian diplomats, you try to cut Imam Musa's throat. Well, you're a damn fool. You know why? How can I just resist the big white man for 40 years, actually it's 50 now, with all of his dirt, and with not a scratch on me? What are you going to do? This is stupid. I'm not saying y'all are stupid diplomatics, because you see on TV, people say how great you are. But if you think you, who are so supposedly my friends, that if you can affect my life, because you have the media and you have the this and that, you are stupid. Because you got to check, if you're going to fight somebody, always check their record, at least check their record, right? You guys haven't checked my record. Why would you think that, we'll do the final isolation, and if we do this to him, the white man, well, the white man is going to be himself. And you stupid enough to believe him. And I told y'all this stuff decades ago. Don't bother with that boy. He'll double cross you. And any treaty you got, remember what I said? I said it publicly. Number one, if you make an agreement with him, sign the agreement, smile, and then cut his throat. Why did I say that? I said because he's going to cut yours. You beat him to the punch. So you were sad last year. Yes, you were sad. You're not upholding your end of the agreement. To the white man. You know what the Indians say? He speaks with forked tongue. Remember the old movies? He spoke with forked tongue. He ain't talking. He can't help it. He speaks with a forked tongue. He speaks with a forked tongue. You're going to just steamroll history because you're an Iranian. Well, you better get yourself in line. I'm not bragging. Hey, man, but I've been fighting the white man so long, it's not work anymore. You can tell by my attitude, I can't fake this all this time. You just can't. And you don't see me coming in here looking all around the white man. Well, the white man did do that. He does more around me and about me than anybody else, because I'm trying to look in the library to find out who else has went through this. I don't find it. Do you find that kind? They don't have it. I'm looking for it. So we go through all of that with relative ease. We've trained ourselves to like fitna. You like to go home and rest and just do your job and everything is fine. We don't like that. We have trained ourselves to like fitna. Yeah, you can train yourself. We like fitna. You don't have to like it. We like it. We love fitna. It's only the smart thing to do. Since you're going to get it, you might as well love it. Train yourself to like it. If you got to eat spinach, just say, you're going to put some sauce on it, I'm going to do something, because it's good for you. Right? Okay, we're moving toward a close. So it says, opportunities for Iran. This is the export of the revolution, transition, global awakening. What part should Iran play on the state level? And then movement level, As-Sabiqun, options, Iran, Shia belt, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Iraq, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon. Everybody's there except Syria. This was years ago. This is all, look, either I'm a genius or I'm drinking something that make me act like I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Or like some people said, I have a white man back there that writes. I gave a speech once at the JC's, the white people. You know, they have a speech club in prison. And my friend was a Christian Arab. He didn't have it from Palestine. His daddy was the Archduke, or whatever they had a big. But he was an American playboy. His girlfriend was a model, and he got a 30 million kids, something like that. So, but he was I was teaching him how to do time. So we belonged to the Speakers Club. So they all would come and they give speeches, and I gave my speech. And of course I won the prize, whatever it was. So he said, they think somebody's writing this for you, maybe me. He said, because all the other people in the club is white. They think a nigga can't put more than 2 sentences together, you know, and sabotage, infiltration, DC Combined Action City State Fair. Local selling point, our program, survival, longevity, and endurance. And that's what we'll close with. Dear believers, we're on a roll. We're off into it. The last thing I mentioned, what was our thing? Kindness, optimism, and humor. Can't do without it. Those are wonderful things. The world is going the way it's going, and all we're doing is just trying to analyze it, and we didn't just get started with this. That's why I bring some of the old notes. No matter how far they go back, they would say the same basic thing. We gotta get rid of this, we gotta get rid of that. And remember, it's because we're thinking about it and we're involved in it. It don't make no difference. We have to get used to the white man, the American, is a prisoner of history. History can either liberate you or imprison you. It's like a habit, you know, remember I said in the beginning, you make habits, in the end, habits make you. That's why we like positive habits, what do we call it? Positive addiction. People say, hey, you out running the snow? This is positive addiction. So I wrestled for 2 to 3 months. Now I'm back in the hills here, but you're outside getting fresh air. This positive addiction. And I'll close with this. You know, even white folks say this. They say, even about acquisition of wealth. You can get a money habit. That means you can make your habits money acquiring habits. That everything, all your habits, right, are wealth forming habits. When we used to sell books, if I went down to AMC anywhere, hey, what are you doing? Oh yeah, by the way, y'all got some of them Korans, and they got in them Korans. They have a few boxes of them Korans. Yeah, for $1. I said, sure, they're for $1. And everywhere you go, I go out IT, and it's Negroes out there working. You charge all these books. So months later, the white man, they're not white out there, IT, they were the brothers. Where do you get all of these books? I just get them, I got connections. I print the book, I don't have the book, how can you have it? This is what Saudi, whatever it is, Sada, whatever his name, he printed a beautiful book from Arabic for English-speaking people or something. We was at an instant program, he was selling it for $15 to $20. So I had it on my table for $12. So somebody went and got it. How can you sell that for $12? I sell it to other vendors for $13 or something. So I got connections. This is my book. How can you do that? I said, all you big shots got all them tables right by the door. It's not, you remember how they'd have 20 tables right there. You can't go to eat, you can't go nowhere without buying Islam books for $30 each, $25 each. So I try to get a thing over here, and then all I would do, I said, it's simple. So I take one of the books they selling for $30, and I would sell it for $10. And there's 3 or 4 books on there. There's a big bargain. So they buy that, and they buy everything else. You see? I said, it's just business. How can you do that? I said, because I got good sense. That's good sense. Anyway, so money habits. Are there any more questions or comments?
Yeah, we have questions here. Go back. This is from a brother named Jihad Nasser Islam. He said, SubhanAllah, what the Sheikh is saying is what happened to me and my movement by the FBI. And he later on said, we put the movement on a hold till further notice. Please ask the Sheikh what sincere nasiha can he give us relative to said hold on a movement, and what should we do? Inshallah, Jazakallah.
Okay, we talked about something that's common in the movement. It's the same thing happened with electricity when it's overpowered in the summer sometimes. They used to have, they don't have much anymore, they used to have a brownout. Be kind of brown. So brownouts are okay. That means you get a little dip point, people cutting your throat, telling on you, all kind of mean stuff. It's good to take a breather, pull back, take walks in the mountains, do whatever you want. Pull back from, never let the system have you confronting it for long periods of time without a chance for you to pull back and reflect. You know, the Quran talks about reflection all the time. I did this, that, and then they reflect. So you see, we call it delay, but it has to do with reflection and pulling back and not being under the pressure to move when others say move. So the nasiha, and Islam is known as Deen al-Nasiha, is pull back and reflect and never allow the lights to go out. That's burnout. That's when this old circuits just overload, which they can do, and you quit the movement. Remember, the movement, when you say the movement, we of course talk about the Islamic movement, but also the human potential movement. People who want to see a better world, there's millions of us out here now. And we need each other. And the world needs us. The world don't need no warmongers and all that. They need people, and you have to always be in preparation for the next phase of your life. So the feds and everything, when they hit you at first, if you're new to it, it's a big deal. But you pull back and check it out, and the more you check it out, it gets smaller and smaller. Pretty soon, you'll begin to look down on the FBI. You'll think they're a bunch of punks. Of course they are. You'll think they're lunatics, which they are. They have all that power, and all they do is use it for bad, for wrong. Something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them, not you. And the other thing is about the people. Always work for the people, but don't need them. They cut you the throat. That's what people do. Life is not fair. In a lot of cases, not nice. People ain't fair. Just because you do good, don't mean they like you. They might get mad at you, but you're going to bump into some people who will shock you. Just like they got people who would do things that are unbelievable, and harmful, and unnecessary. They got people who are almost angelic. They'll shock you. And they're not doing it off a plan. They're just good people. They're out there, tons of them. You just got to stay active till you can bump into them. But I believe that we're moving closer and closer together. Any more questions or comments?
Yeah, another brother. Furqan Nuruddin, is it? Oh, okay, that's him. He asked, Assalamu alaikum, can you explain Velayat Faqih again? I missed the explanation.
Okay, Velayat Faqih. In Persian, they use for wa, they use va. So when they say Velayat Faqih, they're saying wilaya. You know, wilaya, wali, wilaya technically in fiqh language means authority. So it means the authority of the just jurisprudence. So Velayat Faqih, especially as it's practiced in Iran, is a part of the constitution. What Velayat Faqih technically is that Shias believe, well, all of Muslims believe in 12 Imams, the Hadith, the Bukhari, all of them say that'll be 12. So, but Shias believe that the 12th Imam is in Gaiba, that he's in occultation, he's hidden. While he's hidden, while he's in occultation, some of the Shias believe that you have to relate to the marjiyat. They have marjas, sistanis, and marjas all over the place. A marja is just like, as Sunnis we might follow Imam Malik, Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal, you know, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi. Those are marija. I mean, we follow their fiqh and everything. Shias follow a live marja. and you have to follow a live marja, except when your marja dies, you could follow him in his fiqh that he put out in his risala, except if there's some new issues, you would have to take the issue of a live marja. Anyway, some of the Shias believe that they can't have a government that is Imam Mahdi's job, responsibility to come and establish the beautiful world. So, there's two basic groups of Shias. Some believe in Vilayat Faqih, like Imam Khomeini was the first one. Ayatollah Khamenei, the Rahbar, the leader, they call him the supreme leader of Iran. He is the Vilayat Faqih of the time. The reason that we support Vilayat Faqih so much is because it has religious connotations, the same as Caliph. You know, if you want to be frank about it, it's like Caliph, Ulil Amr Minkum, you know, it's just. And it should be a just, knowledgeable person, should be courageous. The same things that they say in all the books of fiqh about a good leader. So, we have always supported the institution of Vilayat Faqih. Now, in Shiism, and they should all feel this way, whether you accept Vilayat Faqih or whether you don't accept it, you shouldn't fight and argue about it. But in the early days, Imam Khomeini's biggest struggle was when he was in Najaf, and it was with the ulama that was against Vilayat Faqih. They thought it was, they call it bid'ah, you know, like the Jews believed that the Messiah has to come, try to establish. So the Zionists said, we're going to take care of that. So they said, the real Jews, you know, like our friends, hey man, I don't want to change the subject from Vilayat Faqih. Our brothers talk about Reform Jews and all these others. They call them swine eaters and Zadeh. I said, man, y'all be really, say reform. Do you have any reformed Islam? I said, no, you can't. How you going to reform, you know? Well, that's what they did. We reformed Jews. I said, okay. I said, all of them over here is reform. Yeah, they reform God's word. How you going to reform the word of God? How you going to update it, downgrade it? Or we don't need it that anymore. So anyway, Vilayat Faqih is the just jurisprudence. For Iran, that is the key element. Not diplomacy, not economy. Is that they have Vilayat Faqih. I don't want to get too far off it. I got a call from Iran the other day, and they said, well, Rouhani is studying Karaj, just big heavy studies. And they're talking about, some of them, well, I believe it or not, that when the Rahbar dies, that they would want to choose a Rouhani. It's none of my business.
Rouhani is what? Rouhani is what?
Vilayat Faqih. Well, he has the same status as the Rahbar had when he was, and if they click, if you notice what's the name speech, the last speech he made on the anniversary of the revolution, February 11th, about the principalist, We want the reformers, we want everybody to join in unity and hold hands. I don't think they would, but that's just what somebody said. He's not balanced enough. He's not balanced enough. You know. See, the Rahbar ain't on nobody's side. He on the side of Islam. You can tell by the lectures. And that's who you have to have. So they got other ulama who have proven themselves that, hey man, choose one that is not on nobody's team. He might be a principalist. But he don't let none of that get in. It's what's best for Islam, what's best for Iran, it's what's best for the Ummah. And the thing that's important about it, I want to say, because Vilayat al-Faqih, I talked about this in December at the MSA PSG, Muslim Student Association Persian speaking group. And I told them that Iran is already in a position of power beyond anything it dreamed of before. But I also told them that other people are voluntarily now coming in that direction. When that happens, that's what I was telling the politicians. The people got to know you're going to treat them right. You can't be slick, you know, what I mean is slick like a politician, like a diplomat. If it's for the best of our group, we're going to dump this guy. It's like the way they try to do me. You know, that's the reason the Negroes are sad about their situation, like the magazine says. The reason I ain't sad, because my homeboys try to dump me. I said, no, I was waiting on you to, because history always say that they're valuable during this part of the rebellion. When you need people with determination and all of that. But after we get in power, the white man is going to tell them, which they did, we don't want you to be friends with Imam Musa. And they listen. That's their problem. Vilayat al-Faqih wouldn't do that. And good leadership won't do it either. And if you want to evolve into a global where you have strength and power around the world, but good power and strength, you can't make slick decisions. Because people who are joining you, most of the people joining you will do it voluntarily. They got to know you're going to take care of my wife and kids and me. We're not going to get along, win that battle that you want to win and then dump us. Like the U.S. You notice the U.S. with Turkey and the U.S. with everybody else over there? They say this is our interest to do this with the Kurds. The Turks are saying your interest, right? And they're saying it's our interest to do this in Iraq. Our interest. It's not in our interest to do this in Afghanistan, to do that in Afghanistan, right? The Vilayat al-Faqih will do what's right. Because over the long run, what's right is going to win all the time. So this is why you never compromise your principles. Sacrifice a long-range principle for a temporary gain. Most people do that. Vilayat al-Faqih, we like it. We don't do that. We have a Vilayat al-Faqih support group because they don't. They think they got our friends. They're my friends. They're my friends. I know they're my friends. You know, one of the guys, big shot, they told him to stay away from me, but I said, well, we got this project, so it kept sliding me a certain amount. So after a while, I said, this is the same. I said, this is your salary. He said, yeah. But he do what they tell him. I said, I'm not taking it anymore. I didn't. And he ain't moved down. Shot straight to the top. Fred really, one day told him, don't do this. It ain't nothing on it. But here you go. We homeboys. We got, wives, kids, family, got everything. No, so no matter how honorable that is, you cannot, if you're Velayati Faqih, you can't get slick. Nobody can detect any slickness. Now, I'll close on this point. We're getting ready for stuff here. That's why we don't play no shenanigans. We don't play no games with nobody. We ain't did nothing to nobody. We're not going to do anything with anybody. Because whoever we're dealing with in the recent future, they may not like us, but they sure gonna trust us. Because they ain't gonna have no other alternative. They can't find nothing. If the white man had been back to when I was 9 years old and stuff and ain't found nothing, and know all what happened and ain't come up with not one skeleton, I shall put my official name is now Saint Clarence II. That's my name. So if you don't call me Imam Musa, you can refer to me. I'm telling you, it sounds silly. Can you get anybody, any politician, anybody? You don't even have to scratch the surface. All you got to do is blow, and all those sheets will come off. But I've been involved all over the world. He's been in every hideout and everything and asked everybody. And ain't got one skeleton. Not one. That's why you have to produce a miracle to be a saint. So any nigga that ain't got no skeleton in his closet, he's a saint. What he is, he's a saint. That's what I think. Anyway, I hope that explained Velayati Faqih. Velayati Faqih is wilaya, the authority of the Faqih, the jurisprudence. That's what it is. Are there any more? Okay, we thank y'all very much, and didn't mean to hold you so long. As-Sabiqun wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.